This hurts my heart, you guys. This hurts my heart. This hurts my heart a lot. The day the music died, this is a music story. I know it's not Monday, but it's a music story. Unchecked Growth has claimed Bobby's Idol Hour, the last live music venue on Nashville's fabled Music Row. Nashville is a city I used to call home. I love that city. And Bobby's Idol Hour is a venue that did comedy on Monday night. I used to perform there. As of 2013, Bobby's Idol Hour was owned by a gentleman named Tom Lizard Case. His son, Jesse, is a comic that I started with. Well, actually, Jesse's been doing comedy a little longer than me, but we both did comedy together in Seattle. And Jesse is still one of the best comics I know. He's one of those guys, you know, and he's Jesse Case. If you want to check him out on Twitter, Jesse Case. You know, he's one of those guys. The first time I saw him, I said, "This is a guy I will always be chasing." As far as how good he is, I was like, that guy. I will always be chasing him because we became friends, and I was like, I'm glad we're friends on a number of reasons. He's a great guy. I miss him, but you know, I also said I was like, well, this is good. Because I will be chasing this guy the rest of my career, and that's still the case. That's still the case with Jesse Case and myself, huh? Anyway, so getting to this, so I'm throwing my biases out there now. Why this hits me hard at home? So Music Row, the part of Nashville known as Music Row, used to really just be this hub of different companies and labels, and in many ways it still is. But a lot of like the old buildings in the history has been knocked down and replaced with condos and bullshit. And it's such a bummer to see because there's so much freaking history there. And there have been efforts to kind of preserve it, like historic societies and stuff like that have been formed. Ben Folds has pumped some of his own money into trying to form these foundations to preserve the history. But even with that, you know, only takes you so far. So Bobby's Idol Hour was the last bar on Music Row. And it's closing. So this is just a history of the place. And it's been around. Let me see if it says the year that it started in. So this person's talking about their experiences from 1987 on. But the point is it's a legendary freaking bar. There's Tom Lizard. He's been the owner since 2013. That's my buddy's dad. So we'll start there. Lizard Tom Case bought the place in 2013. He'd been a regular at the bar there for years before he bought it. Last summer, Mr. Case's landlord announced that he was selling the site and 4 adjacent buildings to a developer. Short of the kind of 11th hour miracle that saved Studio A, which, by the way, that's the Ben Folds story I'm referring to. I believe Ben Folds helped save Studio A. Bobby's Idol Hour, the only live music venue on Music Row, would end its 7-decade run. So that it's been around for 70 years. And yet another office building would rise in its place. So here's the author. I stopped by the bar on January 12th, the last day it was open to the public, and spoke with Josh Disted, 29, a singer-songwriter in Minnesota, who's been tending bar at Bobby's for the past 4 years. He and 3 other investors, all Bobby's regulars, had just bought the contents of the bar, along with its name, from Lizard Case. They hope to open again in a new location in the summer. Mr. Disted isn't worried about making Bobby's a success. Bobby's is already a success, and he's been studying what makes it work. But he recognizes the forces that he and his partners are up against too. Well, I hope they can do that. And here's some other pictures. Nashville is a really booming city right now, and it's growing, so I'd imagine property is a lot higher than it was just a few years prior. So opening an establishment probably isn't crazy easy there right now, but I hope these guys can do it and keep the spirit of Bobby's Idol Hour alive. I had many sets there. Some I did great, some I did bad. When my engagement ended, I announced it to my fellow comedy community on stage in joke form. The jokes didn't get a laugh because it was still too raw, plus half the people in there were comics that knew me, so they were like, oh shit, Ron just had a really bad breakup. His engagement's over. So anyway, I got a lot of memories and history to that place, and that really hurts. So wanted to throw it over to you guys to end the show today. Is there any you think of any moments like that in your lives? Life is Hard, says Andrew Gonzalez. Life is Hard is actually a beautiful song written by Darren Bradbury, a Nashville singer-songwriter you all should check out. Ron got recently engaged. Yes, I did. I was engaged before. In case anyone, I should have specified that, because I think some of you guys are a little confused right now. I am currently engaged and very happily engaged. I was engaged before to a different person. And things between myself and that person did not work out. This was a couple years ago, and I was living in Nashville at the time, and I broke it to the comedy community on stage when that happened. Yeah. I've never been married before, but I have been engaged before, and my engagement did not work out. It happens. It's part of life. It wasn't meant to be. Yeah. Daniel points out, just had the first venue tore down where I first saw Bad Religion, The Addicts, Social D, and The Misfits. That hurts. That hurts. Yeah. And Mike S. points out, that's a fuck of a lineup, Daniel. And I agree, it most certainly is. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our